Yo, what's good, chat? Or not chat, since I'm on YouTube now. But it's actually gonna be my first video where I just talk into the mic. And I didn't think my first video where I would talk is just me about Guild War. But yeah, here we are, right? Like, it was supposed to be Rivals or just something else, but I kind of stopped playing that game. But yeah, enough rambling. So I'm just gonna be talking about just Light Guild War and me and my crew's experience with it. So going into this Guild War, actually, I haven't played this game properly since I want to say last year August, because I went to Japan, right? So I didn't have any time to play. So I was just like, all right, I'll just enjoy Japan. Obviously, try not to think about doing the bare minimum on GBF. And because of that, I just kind of stopped playing until recently. So last year, my first Guild War was Light. And funny how my Guild War coming back is Light again a year later, right? So it was first Light, then Dark. And I wasn't able to play, I think it was Water, I want to say. If I go to Guild War event history... Yeah, right here. So when 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 or the September, I did not play up until January. So I missed 3 Guild Wars since I was taking a break, which also means that I missed the skin, which came at Wind Guild War. I'll get back to that later though. So yeah, I took a break and I just came back and somehow, let's just say, beast moded it. Yeah, I came back and I somehow was able to get 5.5 billion, which honestly, compared to like other content creators, is maybe not a lot, but it's a lot to me. It's the highest I've gotten in any Guild War ever. Granted, I've only participated in about 3, but still, I'm pretty proud of that, right? And like, yeah, here I am, Migu. Yes, sir, 5.5 billion. There is my good 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗀𝘀. Good friend Donkey and Juicy, the curry lord that he is. And yeah, this is the crew, right? We got 4.5k, which is we're really proud of. It's the highest the crew has gotten, and like, dude, for some reason everyone just decided to lock in on Light Guild War. I have no idea why. Well, at least for me, I came back playing this Guild War, right? And we have like a couple of Light Lords, as you can see. Like Juicy's a Light Lord. Where is he? Alex, a Light Lord. This guy, by the way, right? I'll get back into it in the experience later. But this guy was sleeping for like 3 days. Last 2 days, this guy shows up with 3.6 billion, which is ridiculous. It's even crazier because our crew, we're mostly focusing on just like being chill, right? Like, we're not really like being competitive. We're just like, oh, hey, if we want to push Guild War, we'll push Guild War. But if not, we're not. We're not really worried about like being a competitive crew. We're just here to have a good time on the game, right? This guy Juicy went a bit insane. Not solo carrying, but like having most of the weight on his back. I forgot to put it in this slide, but I'll bring it up on the game now. So here, yeah, here's our win-loss ratio. So we win the first 2. First one was pretty like, not that one-sided, but it was pretty good. Then the second one, dude, everyone, we were sweating like crazy on the second fight. Genuinely sweating like crazy. Like, oh my god, Juicy and the no name in the, where is it, on number 4th earlier, they were carrying, genuinely. Like, they're the only reason. Not only them and Donkey were like the only dudes that were carrying like crazy. Of course, I put in a bit of work, 1.2 bill, but this was genuinely so hard. And this is when I was like, damn, maybe I understand competitive crews. Because honestly, pushing up until night, like midnight or 11 p.m. my time, pushing up until that time and being this close was honestly kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. We were actually 2.5k here, or 2.3k here. I don't have the screenshot, or I do. I'm just too lazy to find it, honestly. But 2.3k here, like, we were cooking, honestly, and we were all proud of that. And then we go up against 𝗶𝗀𝗸𝘀 Tights, and then we just get steamrolled. 30 billion honor difference. Like, we are not built for this, dude. We're really not. In the morning, my time, right? As soon as we saw there was like a 4, no, it was like 4 billion honor difference. We're like, yeah, let's just troll. And I think day 3 was when NM250 came out. Yeah, so all of us were just trolling an NM250, being like, hey, let me relic buster this, or like, let me bounty hunter, treasure hunter that. Like, we were just all trolling. And then same with the last day, we were just kind of chilling last 2 days, since, you know, we're tier A and Slack. First 2 days though, it was very plausible for us to win. So of course we're like, hey, why not just hit it, right? Then obviously next 2 days we're like, yeah, no. I'm gonna show my setups. Obviously I'm just gonna show it in the game. So here's a picture of the true carry. This is my NM90 setup. Some of these setups you might have seen from my previous videos, like the 90, the meat, and I don't think my 95 is, yeah, my 95 is here. I'll just like quickly recap these for those who haven't seen it. Obviously Jean, Raziel, Nehan, and honestly Raziel could be replaced with pretty much anyone. Just a strong normal attacker like what's her name, Yo? Raziel's pretty good because of her passive, which is a bonus light damage effect, and of course Jean for triple attack bonus for triple attack echoes. The grid, obviously this will be echo key, but Guild War's over, so I changed it to stamina. And this, the 𝗂𝗍𝗺𝗀𝘀. This, even in Magna, is such a ridiculous weapon in my opinion. Even though we don't get the amp normal attack to my understanding, because you need 280%. But the multi-attack is still good, obviously. And of course, the percentage ignoring foe's defense is such an insane stat, honestly. And supplementing light allies normal attack is also very, very good for, of course, normal attack oriented setups. And as someone who's broke that doesn't have Harmonia like me, 2025, and I still don't have Harmonia, what to do? But luckily they're getting sort of phased out in light, to my understanding, in Primal, though I'm a Magna player, so I don't really know, to be honest. For my 95, using Luchador, and as you can see here, the Hearts Yes is because I don't have a Harmonia, right? My song is Yes, not 150. For this 90 setup, right, you would use Huanlong Friend Summon, so that Fairy and Huanlong will give you 100% Ogi bar, of course with the crew buff up. She'll give the whole team 30% Echo and GTA. So, and obviously you Bubs Call, Nehan S1, S3, and 93 should be dead. Oh yeah, and Song S1, of course. And MC tag team after all that, and then attack, then that should be dead on 95. Which was, it worked well for me, though I think I changed my setup. Either for 93 or 95 or 90 actually. Yeah, my 95 stayed this thing. Though my 90 was this. I found it was a much faster setup, and I could get bounty off using Kaguya Friend, although 90 also used Kaguya Friend, but this used Kaguya Friend and Mini Mim and Manatura, dude, Mini Mimic Manatura, so I could get just more bounty off of that and have a higher chance of getting Celestial weapons. So this is the grid. Again, 𝗂𝗍𝗺𝗀𝘀, I'm poor, no Harmonia. The rotation is literally just Bubs Call, Nehan S3. Then these two boys do their thing. And this setup was honestly not 100%. It worked like 99, 98% of the time. There will be some times where I don't remember because I kept refreshing. Either Nehan wouldn't do his counter damage or someone wouldn't triple attack. I honestly don't remember. But it was consistent enough to where if I just had plus marks and I gave everyone here multi-attack, it was pretty good. So 99.9% consistency, honestly. Yeah, for my meat, did not pre-farm the Viking weapon, the Viking CCW. I was not bothered. Honestly, as soon as I saw it took 1 Eternity Sand, I was like, nah, I ain't making that. No way. And then I found out, oh, you can just change the element of it at any time. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll invest in it. But it was too late since I didn't have any of the mats to make the damn weapon. So I just went with this. Jean Raziel, Albert for some counter just in case it doesn't kill. And this was the grid. 𝗟𝗺𝗀𝗀 once again. 4 guns, this, blah blah blah. Of course, this was Echo, and the summon was Bob's Call, and then you just press attack. Belial counter was honestly pretty important for this, since I would be able to squeeze out a bit more damage. And for 150, this is my manual setup. This is from last year, actually, as you can tell, because it's Relic Buster. I'm not a soldier gamer, don't have any bullets, just too lazy. And this still worked for me when I had to click, right? Of course, it's a bit slow these days, but it worked out for me. 𝗟𝗺𝗀𝗀 again. Obviously, we didn't have 𝗟𝗺𝗀𝗀 last year, so this was something else, if I remember correctly. I think it was Pillar of Flame or Cheetos. I'm not gonna explain the rotation, but it's on my YouTube if you guys want to see it. I'm using Fairy because I'm poor again. I don't have Halloween Mugen, so I have to use Fairy for this. My 150 full auto is this. This I found. There were other 150 manual setups, like using Mana Diver and stuff. But honestly, my only Mana Diver character is Vicky. And I was really banking on the fact that, oh, she's my favorite character. She better be used. And luckily she was. A lot, especially for the higher NMs. I just came up with it on a whim. This grid is honestly kind of whatever the random bullshit go. 𝗟𝗺𝗀𝗀𝗀 just for more damage, since this grid was able to survive. Replace stamina with Freyr Key, and you'll clear 150 in about 4 turns, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Bubs as well. That was the 150 full auto. 200 was pretty much the same thing, honestly. Just replace the Harciasis with defense, because the previous grid had attack and special. So just replace it with defense, and change the class to Kengo, right? And replace the 𝗟𝗺𝗀𝗀𝗀 with another sword. This would be pretty good, but because it's Kengo, right? You'll be in lockout for like 10 years, and it was honestly a bit slow. My new 200 was this one, right? Mana Diver, Vicky, Chicken, Urias. The reason why I'm using Urias instead of Nehan is because I find that Urias is more consistent in this case, because I was finding that with Nehan or any other characters that had a clear, their clear would be too infrequent for my characters to get rid of charm, right? When I was using a Lucy friend, it would only clear 1 of the debuffs, I think, the supplemental damage. Yeah, so like each trigger of the boss, you would have to deal with 2 debuffs, right? So for the higher percentages, like 65, 35, held under and TA down, and for the lower, you would have to deal. So Lucy would only be able to clear 1 of them, and I needed another character to make sure that they weren't charmed, because charmed would be the last one to be left once Lucy cleared. Urias was the only one I found who was pretty consistent, because he would activate Tentacle Rush every time allies landed 5 or more debuffs in that turn. So that was pretty consistent for me, compared to Nehan, where Nehan would need to get Ogi, and of course for a Mana Diver team, that is really, really slow. Like, Nehan is not getting that Ogi. But of course for the Kengo team, worked out fine. He gets Ogi like every other turn, every turn even. So Nehan here worked, but for my Mana Diver team, not so much. 250, hell. Man, I genuinely went crazy. Oh my god, dude. I tried so many different things, and there was one setup. I'll put it up on the screen, the video, and I'll put it in the link in the description, the setup I found, but I just saw, I don't know why I didn't think of using Chicken and Vicky together up until I saw that video. But when I did, I was like, oh my god, I can actually try 250 solo, which is the biggest mistake of my life, because if I'm refreshing, that will take half an hour, because I'm a filthy Magna player that doesn't have Illnot and stuff, right? Like the super meta characters for skill damage, and skill damage in Magna, lol, we don't have tempering here, thanks Cygames. Before Vera, I used Cosmos, but I found that it was pretty inconsistent. I would have to like look at my iPad while I'm doing something else, look at my iPad, use Clarity Herb or Blue Pot, Green Pot, whatever, so I had to do that. So I replaced it with Vera. Of course, Vera is a lot slower, but works more consistently. Chicken gets knocked out, Urias comes in, helps with the clears at the second half of the boss, where you just get debuff after debuff after debuff. Chicken puts Henpecked on the boss and free dispels, and I put this on Vicky and Vera and MC whenever I can. And yeah, that's my 250 setup. Again, it took half an hour because I'm a Magna player that doesn't have 𝗟𝗀 or Lucio or any of the other good options. I don't have 150 𝗚, so I had to go with this. I don't think there's anything else to say here really. Boogeyman the GOAT. Oh yeah, this damn bow. I really hate how I had to make this bow. Not had to, but like if I wanted my 250 to be even slightly faster, I would have to make this bow. Yeah, I had to give up some of my boxes for the Revenant weapon fragments, 15 of them I think, just to make this damn bow that will never be used outside of this guild war. But yeah, this bow is never getting used other than here, right? The other 95, or the other, was this 95? I think it was 95. No, it was 90. Am I crazy? Yeah, that was 90. For this this team could also work with Necromancer, right? But that's honestly doing a lot more damage than you should, and you can just eke out a bit more bounty if you're looking for celestial weapons on Mana Diver with the mini mimic Manatura. I think that's all my setups. All right, now for the crew experience. Yeah, Juicy, the carry, the goat. This was day 2, right? Earlier when I was showing how close the honors were, and I was like, damn, maybe I understand competitive crews. He put him, the top 3 just put their entire GBF 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 to win that fight. And here, top 93 Water Guild War. Shout out my boy Zay. He was struggling this Guild War. We just hated light. Honestly, even though I got 5.5 billion, I still hate this Ellie, dude. Both of us hate this Ellie. All of us hate this Ellie. No tempering on Magna. I don't have a holiday 𝗟𝗀. She haunted my the entire Guild War. Was in every single setup other than the lower NMs. Every single setup, her Lucio followed me everywhere. I could not do any of them, of course. Hold up. His light grid is this. Not our resident light sleeper light lord. Alec was. And bro slept for first 3 days and then got 5 billion. Yeah, not 5 billion. I think I was tripping, but like sleeps first 3 days because he's busy with uni stuff, then gets 3.6 billion. Like, dude, what the hell? You can tell he was Zeus Ura-Ura-Uraing that up. And so to prepare for next guild war, I'm obviously just gonna be farming like the fire raids, right? Like Mugen and Kolo. I mostly have Colossus done. I have 2 swords, 2 axe. Yeah, 2 axe and 4 exaltos. I'm just gonna like farm them, do my daily hosts for the 5th. I'm not really too fussed about the 5th because 5 is really niche. Even during light guild war, there was one setup where I used 5 exaltos, but even then it was like I used a different setup. I used a setup that had 4, which worked better. So I'm done for Colossus farming. Again, I'll just do my dailies just to get the 5th in case something ever happens. For Mugen, that's a different story. My Mugen is not complete at all. I'm nowhere near. Like, I just got my 2 defense blades, called it a day, and never touched Mugen since. Get all my Mugen stuff ready just in case. And yeah, I don't even have that many mats. Can't see it on screen, but I have 329 of the Extinction Visage or Vistage, whatever. Go back to the PowerPoint. Right, I had to decide between Alanan and 𝗏𝗏. Now for some people this answer is pretty obvious. Some, like me, not really, because I had to ask some of my fellow Fire Lords. Shout out Luna, where I had to pick between shout out Luna and Ray. Actually, I had to pick between Alanan and 𝗏𝗏, and TLDR, it just boiled down to, if you're gonna be spamming lower NMs, get Alanan. If you're spamming higher NMs, get 𝗏𝗏. And what pulled me to 𝗏𝗏 more, other than her being hot, is that I do not have Yatima. I am Yatima-less. So using Alanan, that means I would have to do, I don't know, some Ragazzo or Christmas Rakam tech just to bring him in and get it done, right? Which would be really slow. So I was like, okay, I might as well just like not do that and use some other setup that I can use that doesn't require Alanan. And help myself in the higher NMs. Because if I'm being realistic, same with this guild war and just any guild war I participate in general, I'm just there to spam the first few days, and then the last few NMs I'll just full auto, do whatever the hell. I don't really think my fire is built for higher NMs at all, or at least clearing it at a decent pace, right? Like my light NM250 took half an hour. I'm probably gonna have to deal with that again because I'm still Magna on fire. So yeah, I decided on getting 𝗏. I haven't started farming for her specifically yet, but I'm just gonna slowly do it like next 2 months and not burn myself out like I did with 𝗏𝗶𝗀𝗀 last minute. So yeah, decided on 𝗏 instead of Alanan. And for my water setups for farming fire, god damn! This is my Colo setup. Just it's not that fast, but gets the job done. Bubs, press every button. Splitting Spirit for Ogi, 1 million, done. This is the grid. I do not have 4 or even 5 water Exaltos, because water M3 was the one I farmed the least, which in hindsight is pretty funny because I'm dirt primal now. But yeah, that was the one I farmed the least. Water and fire are the only M3s that I don't have 5 Exaltos of. Of course, in fire I just showed I have 4, but every other Ellie I have 5. Because I just like min-maxing that stuff. That's Colo. From Mugen, there's 2 setups, which obviously are both from the wiki. This is an Omnioji setup. This is pretty fast, honestly. This is really fast. Well, really fast if you're excluding like Relic Buster, Rice Valgar. But this is pretty fast for me. Yeah, this is pretty fast. Just 𝗏𝗧, An, and Hacelia. Trios here for levels because she's 102. And yeah, this is a pretty good setup. Though I think I haven't used it a lot. It feels pretty inconsistent, right? Because of if you join in phase 1 or if you join in phase 2, Ballistic Ball Boy. And this team just has a lot less sustain even though An is here. And it's just how Omnioji is, right? It's not like Paladin, right? Where the point of Paladin is just to survive. And this is my Paladin setup. This is what I've been using most of the time. And here is the grid. This isn't ULB, by the way, because I didn't play during that Rise of the Beasts. But of course, if it's FLB, it's good enough. You'll still get the shield from Ogi. And you can replace this with another Ancient Oberon, but I replace it with the dagger. Don't ask why it's uncapped, but the PNS dagger. I found that like in some turns of the phase, some turns in phase 2, I won't be able to hit 10 million damage for some reason. Not even during the 50% or 25% trigger where he activates Ballistic Ball Boy, but he would activate Ballistic Ball Boy because I don't hit 10 million damage in that turn, right? So there would be some times where that would happen. So that's why I swapped the Ancient Oberon with another dagger, just so I can make sure that I can hit that 10 million. And using Grimnir Quick Summon instead of Bunkle, because honestly with Yatima you survive like crazy. Like of course you survive like crazy with An, but Yatima is honestly very good as well. Better honestly, because you get more damage as well if you join in phase 1, get the debuffs on. But once she reaches her max stacks, then your team is honestly never dying. So yeah, Grimnir Quick Summon, because when you join in phase 2, or when you join in phase 2, or when you join in phase 1, or just any, when I was watching this setup, again, I'll link that in the description as well. When you join in phase 1, you do your 1 turn, and then it'll go into phase 2, because everyone's hitting it at the same time, right? It'll go into phase 2, then turn 2, you'll do your thing, turn 3, you'll do your thing, and then turn 4, he should activate Ballistic Ball Boy for phase 2 transition. And that's when Grimnir Shield will be up. I noticed as well that when you have Bunkle set up as Quick Summon, it's kind of random, not random, but like, at least for me, inconsistent if I survive just the whole raid or not, because my, let's say my MC won't have either Damage Mitigation or Noblesse Protégé or Elemental Phalanx. MC won't have either of those, right? And then boom, my entire team just is 1 HP from Ballistic Ball Boy. And there'd be some times where I would be doing the raid, and before I go do something else, I would have to press just Gabu Call just so I can survive that and guard. That's my experience with Mugen. I'd have to press that. Using Grimnir just helps a lot with making it more automatic. And I noticed it as well when I was doing the raid. there were a bunch of Grimnir combo calls. So I saw this video and I was like, hey, let me try it out. And it works better for me. So maybe you can try it as well if you're struggling with being consistent on Mugen. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. This was honestly a lot longer than I was expecting it to. I kind of rambled a bit, which is surprising. This is my first video where I'm talking. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing these. I'll see how I feel. I enjoy making these. Been fun for me. Just the content grind while I have my free time. But yeah, thank you again for listening, watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time, next Guild War, or whenever next video I make. Bye bye.